Kids born to teen moms, how different is your life compared to other kids? When friends would come over for the first time growing up, I'd get a lot of, "I didn't know you had an older sister." I don't. That's my mother. Also, since my mom and I are only 16 years apart, we ended up liking a lot of the same music. Which made going to concerts a lot easier, because we'd often want to go to the same shows. So, I've definitely seen a lot more bands than friends. My mother resented me and the freedom I had as a teen and young adult. I got to do and experience so many things she didn't get to by choice. On her side, I come from a long line of teen moms, but I didn't make that mistake. I was 27 when my daughter was born. And my daughter is almost 22 and no kids yet, so the cycle is broken on our branch at least. Jesus Christ, dude, you hit the nail on the head with this one. My mother never wanted me to succeed out of pure jealousy. And would sometimes go to great extents to stop me from succeeding at something. Okay, you guys are inadvertently helping me understand years of neglect and hateful behavior from my mother. Thanks, this is much cheaper than therapy. My mom and I are really close. She had me at 14. Growing up, I noticed a lot of my friends didn't get along with their moms. I always thought she was really relatable. We go eat, go shopping, get coffee, gossip, just hang out. She worked a lot, sometimes multiple jobs at once, so I felt like I did less extracurricular than my friends. But I was pretty happy growing up. She is always concerned with money. I'm starting to notice that she's not very good at saving money, or planning retirement and whatnot. I once asked a family friend, now that us kids are grown, how are my parents still living paycheck to paycheck? She explained that, in her opinion, my mom basically skipped learning how to take care of herself as an adult. Instead of learning how to effectively adult, she focused on taking care of her kids. I will forever be grateful for my mom and the hard work and sacrifices she endured to raise me and my siblings. Parents still trying to grow up and learn life lessons 10 years later because they never really had the chance to while raising you. It's kinda cool though, cause then if you're aware enough you also pick up on it. My parents weren't teenagers when they had me and my sister, but they were not ready to be parents. It's wild now that I'm a grown-ass adult and my dad now has a 5-year-old. Now that he's ready and in a great relationship, he's doing a fantastic job. Sometimes I'm sad that my little brother is gonna have a relationship that I'll never get, but conversely I'll get to be someone for him that I never had, so it'll all work out. One of my friends has a teen mom. She doesn't talk about it too much, but she says that it's nice how all family members, great-grandparents, are still alive. I went to school with a girl who had her first child at 14. She had 2 more before graduation. At the age of 28 she became a grandmother. The child born's great-great-great-grandmother was alive and only 82. If she lives until 96, she can meet her great-great-great-great-grandkid. I feel like that's approaching some human record. That would be like Jonathan Joestar meeting Jolene. My mother resented me. Still does actually, but it's lessened over the years. It was apparently my fault she missed her teen years, so she dropped me off at a relative's in another state when I was a toddler and hitchhiked around the country for a year. As I grew up I was screamed at and beaten for looking like my biological father. She didn't trust me a bit because of it. I had to get permission to step outside to get the mail, couldn't bathe myself until I was a teenager, couldn't do homework with others. I don't think it has ever occurred to her I'm not guilty of anything. But in her eyes, being my father's daughter is enough. I'm so sorry. My parents got married when they found out my mom was pregnant at 16, she had me her senior year at 17, and both still managed to work their way through college with me in tow. It was honestly pretty annoying. They liked to party a lot with their friends, which got annoying quick, having a bunch of 30-somethings getting drunk and listening to loud music when I had to be up early. My mom enjoyed the attention of being mistaken for my sister, but it felt gross because she was the hot mom to all my guy friends growing up and I never heard the end of it. My dad wasn't really interested in doing dad things until they had my sister in their mid-20s. Found out a year ago thanks to 23andMe that my dad's not my biological father. Apparently my mom slept around a lot in high school. Found my bio dad, which uncovered a huge conspiracy of lies and batshit insanity that honestly deserves its own post. Teenagers are ducking stupid. Edit, since some people were asking, I went into further detail about the story below. Edit, please do not post any more comments asking me to get in touch with them, I am not going to. Read the comments before you ask questions. My bio parents were 14 and 15 when I was born. They opted for a closed adoption, but my bio mom did leave a thoughtful gift for me. My mom told me that my bio mom was very kind and through the pregnancy was always really worried about me. She made a lot of watercolor paintings with poems for me when she was pregnant and gave them to my mom. My mom had them bound in a book for me and would read them to me when I was little. Some of them talk about how she can feel me moving around and what my heartbeat sounded like. It's odd because they really look like a child did them, and I can't believe how much she went through at a young age. I think this made me more compassionate towards girls than other boys were in middle school and high school. What a meaningful gift, and that's a great perspective to have. My mom was 18. So my aunt and uncle are only 10 years older than me. My uncle is 6 years, so I got to do all kind of rad stuff with my aunt and uncle, like skateboarding, surfing, snowboarding. They were and are more like a brother and sister. Real dad is a boss. My mom fell in love at 20 with a 40-year-old. They are still together 38 years later. Raised me like his own. He had 5 other kids. So I had all kinds of brothers and sisters, and TBH a better life than if my real dad stuck around. That first part is so nice. I love all of my nephews and nieces, but those born when I was a teen are my favorites because we spent so much time together doing fun stuff. Sorry your bio dad sucks, but I'm glad that all worked out for you. I met every one of my grandparents, and some of my great-grandparents too. Mom had me when she was 16 and dad was 20. I got to meet 2 great-grandparents who were born in the late 1800s and one born in 1910 to 1920. I can't really remember one of them, but the other 2 I do. The youngest one was creepy AF. She practiced Appalachian folk magic. I am 38 and my great-grandmother just died last year. She was the oldest person in New Mexico. She got to meet 6 of her great-great-grandchildren. Wow, that is really cool. My teen mom, less money, less patience, dated more men, has been divorced several times. My SOS teen mom, lots of money, lots of patience, dated 2 men, only divorced once. I think it is more the person than the age that makes a difference. Edit, the reason my mill had more money is because she had a good personality and was able to get good jobs, she was able to advance her career, was financial responsible with spending, worked very hard to get her college degree, and this was 40 plus years ago, so the cost of living and wage were more comparable. The reason my mother didn't have more money, she is hard to get along with and struggled to get a good job. When she did get a good job, she was not financial responsible. The divorces caused her to lose most all of her gained sums because she chose to walk away rather than split assets. My mother also got a college degree and still struggles with jobs because she argues so much. Lastly, none of them were strippers escorts. They are very close in age. Both had little no parental support, my mill having moved to the US away from the Philippines and my mother was kicked out. Thank you and good night. And what other support they have from family like their own parents. While this is totally true, when I listed my comparison of my mother and mill, it was based off the fact that they had very similar parental support, which is to say, next to no support. I was a teen mom. I asked my 16-year-old what differences he saw from himself and friends, and his response was not much difference other than we are more likely to like the same music. Plus, since he never lived the other side, it's kinda hard to really know what is different. Unless you also have a kid right now. Similar to me, I'm a twin and often get asked how it's like to be a twin, but I don't know what it's like to not be a twin. Edits, spelling, grammar. I've noticed that I didn't have the same opportunities as other kids because being a teen mom can lead you down a road of struggle and poverty if you don't have help from family. I've always wanted to play sports, but she could never afford the equipment needed at school to be a part of it. Mentally, I've had to mature faster at a young age because she was still a kid herself. It's unnerving to think teachers would tell me I seemed older than my age at 10 years old. I still remember not being able to afford soccer 2 seasons for my daughter, and it still hurts.